I'm freaking mind blown right now. I know you are too.
I have other partnerships in properties. The mission and the vision is the most important.
It's, you know, $500,000 property, and a lot of our capital's tied up in our other real estate properties, and we're like, shit, how the fuck do we finance this thing?
The way that I look at things is absolute worst case scenario. Can we exit out of this without losing money?
Welcome back to part 2 with Jose and Andres. If you missed part 1, it was super high energy. It was awesome. Definitely check it out. With that, let's get into it.
Andres, I got a question for you. When, so you guys are like the first partners we've ever had that I've met in a while that actually, you know, we partnered a couple years ago, but I've never really met and certainly talked to other partners. So it's really refreshing to see you guys here. Admittedly, I thought you were brothers for I know Andres for like a couple of years now. I thought you guys were brothers for forever.
Last names are close.
Last names are close. You have a similar story. So, but when did you meet Jose, and what are your thoughts on partnering overall? Like, was there kind of a pivotal moment in your investing career where you're like, you know what, two heads are better than one. I'm going to come together with another like-minded individual. Maybe Jose's kind of your yik to your yum, and like he's better at what certain things you're not. So I want to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, so I actually I met Jose through the Bigger Pockets Forum, and at the time he had like I think one or two properties, and I just had a small condo that I was living in. And then I'm like, hey, can I just learn from you? That's how I started. And I remember, I actually tell this story in my book, but he's like, yeah, come by. I'm painting my property. I'm like, well, maybe he's painting the walls inside, whatever. I get in there, and the first thing that I see is this guy on a ladder on the 3rd floor painting the siding on the house in the back.
Hell yeah!
But the most amazing thing is that his wife was painting the 2nd floor.
Wow! She was my girlfriend then. That's why I married her.
Wow, that's when you know.
So Mary, the one that paints material, right? I guess. Right? So she was painting, and I'm like, okay, let me just learn. And we actually kept in touch. We talk once in a while, you know, whenever like we hang out. Well, we didn't partner until I think it was 2022, and we started in the summer. That summer, we're like, let's just sit down and let's break it down. Like, what is the thing that you don't like about partnerships, and like, what is the thing like what is your mission? Like, what is your vision? Like, how do you see yourselves? And I had other partnerships in other businesses as well. And I have other partnerships in properties. And, you know, the mission and the vision is the most important. And I think, you know, before you even enter a partnership, try to like go slow. Like, try to like date before like you get married, right? Like, try to buy like a small deal. Try to like, don't go hard on like, oh, let's just 100 units, because the thing is with Jose is like, we still have the same mission, and we remind ourselves that we still have that mission, even though we have, I won't say switch, but we have took another avenue, now doing a bunch of flips. We're still, our, you know, vision is to, you know, own a bunch of rentals so we can have cash flow. So I think with partnerships, you have to make sure that those two align, and don't, even if it sounds good on a meetup and like, let's just partner, like, just don't. Like, it's better. I have gone not so good partnerships. Like, for example, I bought a house, everything went well, but at the end of the day, I had to sell my portion of, you know, the equity because our vision didn't align, and we're still friends. Like, they're my buddies. But they wanted quick money, and I'm like, I'm okay with slow money. And that's one of the things that I learned about partnerships. Like, you gotta go like slow, and it's okay to be slow. Like, the way that we have grown, we buy very selective deals. Even though we came across a lot of deals, we're very selective, and that's because when we were forming our partnership, we were very clear of what we want. And we don't even look at deals that are like, for other investors would be good. Like, it has to be like really good, or we can make it good. You know? Yeah.
Are you only buying? So we run into this as we speak. Got a deal put it on our desk the other day, and I'm like, shit, this is numbers work. Like, but it's, you know, $500,000 property, and a lot of our capital's tied up in our other, you know, real estate properties, and we're like, shit, how the fuck do we finance this thing? You know? So I'm just curious. I mean, you guys talk about raising private capital, and I think that's like the holy grail of a successful real estate investor, is where you're getting your capital, because eventually you're going to run out of money. So are you only buying deals that are value add? Like, will you turn away a turnkey, beautiful, cash flowing, 20 grand a year, 5-unit, let's say? Yeah. Are you turning that away because there's no way to pull out that original down payment and pay your investor back? Or are you just maybe making that time horizon at, you know, I'll give you an 8% preferred return for the next 3 years, and 3 years you sell it, or what, and you're charging maybe an acquisition fee, a management fee, et cetera, et cetera. So are you saying no to turnkey properties, or you kind of just buying whatever makes sense?
We haven't said no, but we bought one turnkey property last year in Hamden that we're actually selling.
Oh, the single family?
Yeah, the single family.
Yeah. Across from the restaurant. Yeah.
So great location. The property was bringing $4,000 gross. We were cash flowing almost $1,500 a month. Great.
That's
right.
good.
And that's last year. Like with our mortgage was like, you know, $2,500. Like we were doing really good, right? But then we realized that, like, you know, we cannot rent it. The student rentals are very seasonal. I own a bunch of them, and they're very seasonal. So the lease expires in January. So there's nothing we can do until August. So we might just decide to, you know, just to sell. And our margins in that flip are very thin because we bought it turnkey. So I think this is accidentally. We love when we only buy value add. Yeah. Like, this is something that we never talk about. We just like pencil out the numbers, and me and Jose, I think our key is that we were very conservative, especially Jose. Like, I'm more optimistic, but Jose is very like conservative. Like, oh, we can sell this flip for like 300,000. Jose's like, no, we're gonna sell it for like 285, 289, and we always sell it for more. But it's good to have that conservative mindset of like, what is the worst that could happen? What if like things don't turn out our way? So we raised, I will say, if I'm not mistaken, almost $2 million in the last 2 years.
Wow!
Out of private money, and a little bit of, I will say, like a quarter of that is just lines of credits and HELOCs and all that we created. But
are you giving out equity for that?
No. Do you want to talk about our model?
Yeah. So
how are you structuring your private?
Very
loan?
Curious about that.
Yeah. So I mean, the first thing is, as far as the whole turnkey thing, is that to me, and to Andres as well, we have to have exit strategies.
Right.
And a turnkey property kind of limits you a little bit because you're already paying top dollars for it as far as an exit strategy goes. So the way that I look at things is absolute worst case scenario. Can we exit out of this without losing money? You know, we're not, obviously, I'm not perfect. We're not perfect. It might come a deal where we don't do as well as we wanted to, but at least we're prepared and ready if the worst case scenario happens. Now, when it comes to structuring for capital, what we do with our private lenders is that we structure in tiers based on the amount of money that they could provide for the deal. So based on the tier that we have, we provide a certain rate of return that's annualized, and we pay them on the monthly basis. It gets directly deposited to their bank account. It's completely seamless. They love it. They get, you know, triple, sometimes quadruple, whatever they will get if they just leave that money sitting on the bank. So they love it for that. Obviously, this is something that didn't happen overnight as far as the raising capital, because people won't just give you money without the track record. But one of the things that we've done is we're really heavy on social media, putting everything that we do on social media. And that has helped us tremendously because people get to see, and we put the true stuff, the ups and downs, when we do things great and when we do things not so great. So people see what we're doing, so they trust us because they can see it firsthand, what we actually are doing with their money and what we're doing with our projects. So it's been great on that side, raising capital, because number one, it's much cheaper for us the way that we raise capital than it is to structure otherwise based on the rates that we give people. And number two, we're not giving equity out, you know, so we have a promissory note. We do it at a year term, and then we could pay it off before that or at the year without any penalty to pay it off, so that if we get to refinance, we could pay it off. If we don't get to refinance and we wait it out, we have that leeway to wait it out a little longer.
Right. Curious about the equity thing, because we're the same way. I don't think we've ever given out equity.
Like, we've raised a couple mil.
Yeah.
threw out a couple deals, but like we've never given out equity.
Is it just like a mind, like, to be honest, like, is it a mindset thing? Like, you just want to own 100% of everything?
I think it's a little bit of both. So one of the things is that, as you probably know, once you give equity or you put a lien on the property, it makes it a little tougher with the new policies and rules that they got to refinance now. So that's one of the reasons why we don't want any liens on the property, so it's easier when it comes time to refinance the property for us, right? The second thing is not so much that we want full control over it, but to us it does get a little bit more complex because then the taxes, how you're going to structure the LLC, the partnerships agreement, so it's a little bit more involved. And the other thing is that most of our private partners, the most that one private partner has given us is about 100 to 150K. Most of our private partners are 25, 50K, 40K.
Yeah. Wow.
So it's not like, for 25K, you don't really have to give tons of equity. It's not like they're giving us 300,000-400,000, which will be different. I think if someone was coming in with 400 grand and a deal that it's covering like 90% of the deal, maybe the conversation will be different.
For sure.
Because like me personally, I would want equity if I was giving that much money, But if someone that's just giving 25, 30, 40K, they're okay with just understanding that they're going to get their nice return. The money's going to be saved. The money's going to get returned every month. They're going to get their payment and their interest payment.
But they have no collateral to that, right?
They have no collateral to it.
So in addition to that, it's less complicated. It's a seamless transaction. And like if you have an equity partner, again, like what I was saying, you have a partnership where like, what if their mission and vision doesn't align? So like, let's say that you partner with someone and then you give them equity. What if that person suddenly wants to do flips or wants to change, is not aligned to your same mindset? I think it gets very complicated.
Could not agree more.
And I think like, when we offering, so the minimum that we offer is 7%, and we have paid up to 9%, no points.
No points.
No points. And this is, we signed the contract, they wire the money, we use that money. It's super, like anybody can do it. But, in order for you to get that money, you have to have people that like you, know you, and trust you, right? And like you, I don't think that's hard. Know you, obviously, they have to know you. But trust you is the one that, like, we're focusing on. And, like, how can people trust us? Like, we have partners from New York. Like, we just got, like, 50,000 from, like, somebody that haven't even met me. And because of Instagram, because they feel that through that camera, they trust me, boom, we got that money. It's a Zoom call. We talk a few times, and then you get 50,000. And for us, like 50,000 at 7%. And we have, if the properties that we buy are between 2 to 400,000, right? So like for us, we just need like 4 partners for that. And that's not hard, 2 to 4 partners. So I think that model has been good. We can use our money too as well, but I think we can scale using other people's money.
I'm freaking mind blown right now. I know you are too.
I'm like, first of all, what are we doing wrong here?
Both of you guys.
So simple. It's so simple.
Both of you guys are coming to negotiate our next private lender deal because we have never paid 7% to. We've paid
10
15,
to 12 and 2 points.
We paid 15 once.
It's all about. Sorry, Jose. It's all about also volume. Like, we get all these people, but like we talk, behind cameras with more people than we. It's not like we pitch an idea and we get the money right away. So like, if you want, I tell people like, if you want like your cousin, your mom, whoever, to like you have to like talk to like 10, 20, 30 people, sometimes 40 to get one, and then you get good at that. Also, again, like. But again, like the easiest way to get track record is just social media. Like people, like when I got that person tell me, I trust you through my social media. Wow. Like I'm giving you $50,000 and you tell me the rate. Like it's like, how much are you paying? 7%. Okay, that's fine. Like they don't even care. They just want to be with you. And also, as a like a little bonus there, I told them, listen, I will teach you everything I know. So whenever we're doing these flips, whenever we're buying these properties with their money, I said, I'm going to let you know what we're doing, and I want you to come if you want to learn about investing. Yeah. It's not only like giving money and like buy, right? It's about like caring about that person. Like I genuinely care about this person to learn because they all want to learn. They just don't want to like sit back and collect the money, but they want to learn to do it on their own. So I'm like, I'm transparent. Just come to my flips. So, you know.
Yeah.
The people that you raise money from, like, is it a combination of what you just said? Like, it's someone that's like, hey, look, I want to give you this money. I want to make a return, but like, can you teach me? And do you also get people that are just like, look, dude, I just want to be passive. Like, just give me like 10%.
And one of the things is that, you know, like Andres was saying, no, trust is key. But I think the key behind trust is you got to do what you say you will do, right? And it's very, I wouldn't say easy because there's nothing easy about it, but it gets a little bit easier once you have a couple of people that you done right by them and you have done, if not better than the expectation they had, you know, the same as their expectations, it does get a little easier because now people can really trust you because you did what you said you will do. And the other thing is we get creative too. Like, to give you an example, we have structured some capital deals where we say, hey, this is what we can do for you. For the first 6 months, we'll do 7%. But if we happen to hold the capital for the 12 months, we're going to bump that up to 9 or 10%. So we get really creative with it as well. So we kind of go around, you know, whatever the person wants to get. So like I ask them the question, hey, what kind of rate you want to get a return in a year? They say, oh, I'm looking to get around 12% if I'm having my money being held for 12 months. Say, okay, how can we create this in a way where maybe we'll pay you 7% for the first 6 months, but then for the remaining of it, we'll kick that up so that it makes close to what it is that you want. If we happen to hold your money for 12 months, but if we only hold your money for 6 months, great, you made 7%.
Yeah.
No, I love this. I got to stay on this for another second. So like these people that you're raising money for, do you find yourselves sort of being accountable to them in a way like, do you find yourself being on calls with them? Like, hey, here's an update, here's an update. Do you find them reaching out to you and asking like, hey, how's my money doing?
Everything is electronic. They get their deposit automatic on the first.
Yes.
So they're not really like, hey, man, I need to do another Zoom call. I need to see what this project. No kidding.
Mm-hmm. Because again, they trust us. Like they don't have that need. If I get a call from them or text, it's just to like see what other projects that we have so they can go. But nothing about them. They know that their money is secure. Mm-hmm. It's like a trust. It's just, you know,
yeah.
Like
to be fair, like the people we've raised capital for, they don't bother us.
No, you're right.
Like, you know what you guys should do? I think first, this is my recommendation. Start with people that you have done business as a W-2, like your realtor, your lender. Try to reach out to family. If you want to do family, you can do family. You know, if you have integrity, like I know you guys have, that's fine. You will be fine, right? But if you try to work with people, make a list of all the people that you know that have cash, right? Like if you want to raise 100K, you have to, you know, get someone that makes 500, 600K, right? Make a list and say, hey, I don't have a deal yet, but I will have a deal. Do you want to put your money to work? And because the people that you have worked on, they know you, they like you, they trust you. Instead of you trying to reach out to a stranger to or like just to post it out there, oh, I'm reaching capital, it's way easier just to go with like your line of work. If you have other jobs in the past, then just go through like all those people's. Now that Jose was talking, like I just realized, I would say 60 to 70% of our capital has been raised for our other businesses. So I have a tennis club. He has a restaurant. He's in the banking. So we have raised money that way.
Yeah, that's so good.
You know what I mean? Like you don't have to go to strangers. Mm-hmm. You don't have to even talk to family if you don't want. But go with the people that you already have the business. Like,
that's so good.
Yeah. One last thing, maybe. So, you know, the old saying, like, which came first, chicken or the egg? So, like, let's just say you have deals, you got investors. Like, do you raise money before you even have a deal, or do you find a deal and then raise money?
So going back to what you were saying about equity, which is another reason why we don't do equity, because we don't attach our private capital to a specific project. And that gives us the leeway. So we have that money for 12 months. We could flip a property in 3 months and we use that same money instead of paying the capital back. Let's just put it into another flip, into another flip, into another flip. Yeah. So everything we do is strategic. And this is one of the reasons why we don't like to get into big, expensive flips that we're going to be stuck in like 6, 7, 8 months. We want to be in and out 3 months. One of the reasons is that. We want to just reuse the same money and put that money to work 3, 4, 5 times for us.
That's our downfall, because everyone we've raised money from has a first position lien on the property. They charge 2 points. When we pay them off, we paid everyone back that we've ever borrowed money from. So we'll take a kudos for that one. But what happens is I'll give them 2 points up front, 10%, 12%, and 2 points. So it's like 14, 15% annualized. I'll make good of them. That property will get refinanced or sold. They'll get paid off. And then I'm like, do you want to reinvest? They're like, yeah, sure. 2 more points, another 10%.
Yeah.
And so, that's what you guys are doing right and we're not doing right.
I gotta give you a quick tip. So the reason why you're getting charged 10% and 2 points is because the people that you're raising money from are people that are really knowledgeable. They know.
They are.
Right? And it's not that we're like scamming people, because we're not. But we're raising money from like blue collar people, like people that just
25,
like
50K increments.
Correct. So they're not as savvy. Like, even for them, having 7% is better than have 0.01% that any other bank will offer.
Sure.
So for them, 7% is fine. Now you raise money from other investors. They're gonna charge you points. They're gonna charge. Like I have one time I was raising 500,000, and this individual is from Woodbridge, Connecticut, and he's like, okay, we're ready. I'm ready. Let me talk to my attorney. His attorney tell him that we're getting a good deal. And it's like, okay, now I want 9% and 2 points.
Yeah.
And at that time, I'm like, but why? Just because my attorney said so. And I'm like, okay, is that what you want? Not really. Like, I'm okay with 7 and 8%. Like, I just sold a business in North Haven, Connecticut, so I'm good. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
So like,
Yep.
a lot of people can be influenced by others,
One of the things that Andres and I did when we first started to raise money was we had this conversation, and we said another thing besides just the benefit, of course, of getting this capital not so expensive is that how can we bring a way for people that have their money in the bank, that's not doing anything pretty much, that don't have the knowledge of how their money can actually work, and don't really have the connection of going up to someone like you guys who are investors, right? Because let's be serious, not everyone, has the money like that. So how can we bring that to just regular people that they can make more money than they would in the bank? And that's what we focus on. And people that ask us, hey, but I could give you $500,000, I could give you a lot more. No, thank you.
Okay.
So good.
Moving.
Yeah, so good.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'd rather have like 7 to 8% like guarantee than be in first position at 10, where you don't know anything. Like, so a lot of people don't know anything about real estate and they want to be a first lien. Like I just rather have a stream of income that is secure, that is, even if it's a little less, and I know that I'm gonna get paid. Then like, I don't know what's gonna happen if I give my 10%, even though I'm first lien.
And we're super honest with people. Like, our pitch is say, hey, listen, there's ways out there that you could potentially make a bigger interest if you want to be involved. There's absolutely ways that you could make more money. What I'm offering you is something that if you have the money that's absolutely doing nothing and you don't want to do nothing, then this is an option for you. I'm very honest with them. I'm not telling them, hey, this is the best return you could ever get on your money.
Right.
We're not doing that. We say, hey, listen, you could buy your own real estate, you could go and flip your own properties, and you probably will make more. But if you don't want to do that, and you just have the money, and you don't need the money, because that's the other thing, we're very clear, you don't need the money can stay with us for 12 months, then we're an option for you.
Right. Thank you so much for listening to Sky's the Limit podcast. We're always releasing new content, so if there's something you want to hear, be sure to comment below. And don't forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And just remember, sky's the limit, dive deep, and invest in how you want to live.